All right, so we're going to do supine and then pro decompression breathing. We're going to start with the big toes together, heels apart, just flat on your back, thinking about the same steps as before. Pelvic floor, you can do that hip hugger position where your shoulders are opening up, the chest is expanding, but that stomach is sucking in and engaging. And just then moving up to the posterior serratus, breathing into the lower lobes of the rib cage, trying to open that area up, getting that little cramp there in those muscles. It's about 3 to 4 breaths in each position. Serratus anterior, going wide, driving the elbows wide, driving the rib cage wide, and then serratus posterior superior, right, pretty much at the base of the neck. You're breathing right into there. Get your elbows really high here, and just tracing your thumb through the armpit just like before. Then sphere of tension overhead. Try not to extend the spine. Keep that stomach really engaged, like you're sucking your belly button into your spine, getting that crampy feeling at the base of your ribs. Turn the hands in, turn them out, and then you're going to come back down. Try to do 3 breaths in each position again. Elbows high, driving the shoulders down. That's going to help you hit that serratus posterior superior. You can hover the head a little bit above the ground here. That helps. Drop it down, serratus anterior. Another 3 breaths. And then drop it down to serratus posterior inferior. A few more breaths there at the base of the rib cage, depressing the ribs. Should be shaky right about now. Keep those big toes dorsiflexed that whole time. Then finish up with the hip hugger. Should be very shaky, should be a little sweaty. And then we're going to switch it up. Move over into the prone. You'll be able to see the rib area is a little bit easier here now. And you'll find one of these a little tougher than the other. All depends on your posture type. Start with the same thing. Hip hugger. Squeezing the elbows towards each other, but we're going to hover the feet a little bit above the ground. Just a hair. And you're going to dorsiflex those toes. Toes to the nose. Couple breaths there, trying to almost like you're sucking your belly button in, tucking that tailbone in. Same thing here, almost like you're trying to flatten that lumbar spine up towards the ceiling. Get a few breaths there, and then move on to the serratus anterior. Now we're going wide. Just think about that one area, still engaging the others, but really focusing a little extra. Trying to widen that rib cage too. You're all going to find a different area that you struggle with. Now driving those elbows up high. This is the hard one, but really good for the shoulders. We don't want to shrug the shoulders to the ears. We want to drive the elbows up, drive the shoulders down. Sphere of tension driving overhead. It should be almost impossible to straighten those elbows out if you got that spine engaged properly, if the hips are engaged properly. Do that little triangle there, external rotation. Bring it back the other way. Try to keep those elbows up high. It's really hard here. Then go down, serratus anterior. You're already fatigued. Drive those elbows wide. Then down, serratus posterior. Don't skip these areas. We're stopping on them because they're the tough areas that you want to skip. So hang in there. You're probably going to get a little red, a little shaky. Really strong breaths here. Really squeeze those elbows towards each other. Pulling the hips internally. That's that adductor squeeze. The thighs squeezing together. Lengthen the spine. Good job.